kick us off, Mr. Voice?
No idea what to say. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first episode of a podcast that we have started. It is called How is Life? How's life?
That is the title of our show. We have to figure out one thing.
Yeah.
Is it going to be How's Life with Themba and Bouwer or How's Life with Bouwer and Themba?
Oof.
Are we going to switch it up each episode?
So, alphabetically speaking, it should be you first.
No, I think it should be you first. I think
I'll take it.
age. Themba and Bouwer sounds cooler than Bouwer and Themba.
I'd have to agree with you on that. I do. Actually.
It's a terrible argument.
Well, now that we've got that out of the way, our premise for the podcast is just going to be having conversations about life. Life as it is. Some episodes will be just the two of us. Some episodes will have some special guests.
Yeah. The idea is to kind of get to know each other a little bit more.
Yeah.
And also get a chat with the guest about his and their life. Because we live in a time where we share a lot.
Yeah.
But everything's got a filter on it. There's always a little bit of something to make it not as truthful as it is.
Yeah.
And the plan is here to be...
I'm going to show you the naked truth. But we won't get naked.
Yeah. Thank you for Naked for the sponsorship. We're open for sponsorships. Maybe we should start off by thanking our sponsors for the show. It'll go better.
Yeah.
The second episode. Well, thanks for nothing, sponsors.
Yeah. So let's jump off.
Why are we
straight
doing
into the
this?
deep end.
Why are we doing this?
We just said that, didn't we?
We did. Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think one of the reasons for me is because if there's one thing the world needs more is another podcast.
So wait. I think first and foremost is like you talk about the filters that people put on and that sort of thing, and we are not notorious, but I think as content creators and people that live on social media, you always put your front foot forward. And I had an old podcast before, and one of the things that we chatted about a lot of the time is people not understanding the journey. That we get to make content and we get paid money to drive cars or do whatever it is, but it's such a long process to get here, and people only see you when you're here. Whereas there's lots of trials and tribulations in between, and there's a lot of hard work that goes into it. And it's not a sob story to say, hey, listen, as a content creator, please feel sorry for me, I had to work hard. Yeah. But it's not always glitz and glam.
Yeah.
And there's pride in saying, hey, listen, this was a struggle, this was a tough day.
And it's also not like overnight. I met you last year, 2023, technically the 30th of December, 2022. Yeah. But the idea, my idea of you, because you sent me an email and I didn't, through Bouwer style, didn't reply for 6 months. And then eventually I was like, okay, let me reply.
So that's one thing. A lot of people at home, a lot of people come up to us and they say, okay, cool. How did you guys dream this whole thing up? What was your strategy kind of thing? And the truth is, and we're still yet to bride together. We've never bride together.
We shot a bride commercial together, but we've never bride together.
We've shot at least 3 bride commercials
Our
together.
friendship is fake.
And we haven't bride together before. But so I emailed Bouwer to be like, hey, listen, you guys had just dropped the one of the courier guy ads.
Oh, the PK.
With the
express delivery.
No, with the CSI. After the truck that got hijacked, and then you guys brought those Okies in.
Oh, Leo Prinsloo. Oh, yeah.
So you guys had just done that ad, and then I was looking at also at looking at the landscape. I'm an actor. I'm in a couple of ads, but I really want to start doing some cool stuff. So I see your stuff, and I'm like, okay, let me message this dude and see if he ever wants to include me in an ad or something. And then he doesn't reply for the longest time, and then eventually I get an email back, hey dude, I'd be lucky, but I've got an opportunity for an ad coming up. That was a Tipper Tinto one, the R&R.
Oh, did you audition for that?
No, you asked me to be in it, and then I was busy that day. I was shooting something else.
Oh my word!
And then you shot it with
yeah.
And that's funny enough. That's round the corner from our office. So ironically, a year later,
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
But my perception of you was because I know the content you made, and I was like, this guy he started last week. He's lucky. But that's what I mean. That's the perception you have of social media.
Yeah.
And then I got to know you, and you're like, You've been doing this for like forever.
Yeah,
Almost like 6-7 years. Even though it was just part-time, making content for smaller brands or just your own stuff.
Yeah, no, it only really started getting paid more recently. But I mean, to the story of the evolution of Themba and Bouwer, we're going to say Themba and Bouwer every time Themba first.
TBs.
TB in the house. So when that opportunity came up, and then I was busy because I was on another shoot, which is great. To be working, but I was like, I missed the opportunity because you sent me a message. I still remember it was like, okay, it's cool, man. There'll be other opportunities, and that is everybody. That's when somebody says to you, "Oh, there'll be other opportunities." It's like
what I meant was there'll be other opportunities with other people.
Yeah,
this guy just flow, bro. No, but yeah, sorry, finish. Sorry.
No, well then that was that. So I thought that was completely over.
Yeah.
And then roll in December.
I don't know. Oh, you know what happened was. Yeah, it was December. There was no one here. I was like, I've got time on my hands. And I saw you. I started following you and I saw you in Joburg as well.
Yeah.
I was like, let's just do it. Let's just go have a lunchy. And then we got a lunch. And then I think obviously like holidays happened. And only once that soccer thing happened where the government was like sponsoring some football team, $1 billion or something.
Tottenham Hotspurs.
Yes. We were like, dude, here's an opportunity. Just there's no stakes. Let's just go have fun, shoot something, and we went for lunch again. No bra yet. And we wrote that over sushi. But the funniest part of this whole story is we made that one thing with the government and whatever.
Yeah.
Within like 2 days, we got invited by ENCA to be on this national news show.
Yeah.
And like we're the barometer of like, okay, these guys know everything.
Yeah.
We're like, we didn't
I
even
still
know.
remember like, and how did you guys decide to embark on this whole thing? Like everyone was like, what was you guys' plan? I'm like, I just met this. Like, We've had a coffee and a lunch once.
Yeah.
And here we are. And I mean, even now, like fast forward essentially what's a year and a couple of months later.
Yeah, almost 2 years. Because technically in December it's going to be 2 years since I know you. Because we shot that earlier. That was like early Jan. Yeah. But what I must say, what I do really like is the fact that we're still knowing each other.
Yeah.
There's something cool about like, no, we've been old friends.
Yeah.
Which means I still discovered new things about you. Like just before we start shooting this guy goes, it's 3:30. I'm like, what does 3:30 mean? I've never heard of 3:30 because in Afrikaans we go 3:30, which means it's 2:30.
Yeah,
it's going to 3,
which is wrong.
Yeah,
okay.
and I never knew you looked at time like that. And also, but it's just the joy of like making stuff with you, but also just the friendship side because that's one thing I can testify is like there's a true cool friendship brewing. It's not just like, listen, we need to shoot. I don't care about your life because we share the same school. We got our kids that go to the same school.
Yeah, no, I think we've managed to intertwine, but I think we haven't overshot the mark. Like we're not hanging out every day and like going all the same places.
But I'm a hermit. I don't. Is a hermit the right word?
Yeah. You just like PlayStation.
I like PlayStation a lot, and I like to chill at home. But you're more social than me. You like to say yes to every second thing that comes on your way.
No. So that's born again. So if we roll it back, like obviously being where I am now, super great, cool. Coming from like a background of like kind of like struggling when I first moved to Joburg because like I didn't study PE. Yeah. Good old Gqeberha.
Nice.
Only had a matric. So you get here and you're like, okay, cool. What am I going to do? What am I going to add? And guys in Joburg have 10 qualifications each and 4 businesses and stuff. So I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to slot into this ecosystem. And so like I was a handyman for a long time and like I did all these random jobs as a quizmaster and but like to make ends meet, you kind of get used to saying yes to everything because there's like a desperation of like outrunning poverty.
That's where it comes from.
Yeah. So... And that's a very hard thing to break because every time somebody gives you an opportunity to make money, you're like, yes. So then you get to the point where we're at now and there's loads of brands knocking and they're saying, hey. And I'm like, that poverty mentality or that hustle mentality is still in it where you kind of have to upgrade to a point where you say, okay, don't want that. I'll take this. I'll take that. Which is a little bit difficult. But in the same breath, you like to say yes to...
I just also want to add, I'm also... You're 40, I can't remember, 34.
40?
No, you're 34, sorry. You're 34, no?
Yeah. So this is like the time thing where you say 40, but it means 30.
I'm 6 years older. So there's also, we're at different stages in our life, meaning maybe it'll hit you when you're 40, maybe not. But because obviously my background with the music as well, I've toured so much.
Yeah.
I've not done it all. That sounds so. My autobiography, done it all. I've done it. I've done a lot of the traveling and a lot of the same old. So for me, it's just like what brings me joy is being at home.
Yeah, simplicity.
Jamming a little PlayStation, being with my family, and then occasionally say yes to stuff that either scare me or that's like hella exciting.
Yeah, but I mean, even on that note, so we did the Hey Neighbor Festival last year, and leading up to it, there was a conversation saying, okay, so we're going to be there for 3 days hosting. You can stay there, or you can, go back and forth.
But that's I just want to pause. Because of all the Oppie days, never camping again at a festival. And proceed.
So, but that was the conversation. It's like, you're like, no, I'm not camping, I'm not glamping. And I'm like, but the trip every day just sounds awful. I chose to glamp. And he drove back and forth every day.
And it's like an hour and a half, almost 2 miles.
Yeah, dude. And then my first night there, I realized what a grave mistake. It didn't rain, but it was like
cold or something.
Cool. We finished for the night. Everybody, like, we finished at like 10. We closed the main stage, and then like all the other stages stayed open till like 2. And so you just got this Durban Gogo is just playing her tracks kind of thing. Then you've got like people walking past your tent till 4 in the morning, and then the sun comes up at 6 and it's just baking. So just you could call it glamping, but
it's a lie.
Yeah. The environment was tough. And then the next morning I had to wake up and like you're fighting 90 people for the toilet, and it was awful.
That's when I knew how much you love emceeing. Because the last night it started to rain so much.
Yeah.
The whole program, Tyler came late.
Yeah.
The whole schedule was so behind. And there comes a point where the crowd turns on you, where they go, listen, you MCs, you annoy me. And Swedish House Mafia was playing, and I was like, because you were driving with me, and I was like, dude, let's just go. And you're like, no, but we have to back announce. We have to, after Swedish House Mafia, still remind the people that we're here. I'm like, no. And luckily we didn't get the worst traffic. But yes, I was like, this is so stupid. I don't like this anymore. But I was being whiny.
No, well, I think there's a big difference between, or one of the big differences between you and I is like, I love MCing stuff, and you
but
like,
yeah. No, but if some you of have the stuff, but that was a fun MC gig. It's some of the stuff that's felt like, I was going to carry the Swedish House Mafia. Why would you want to go up after them? But yeah, you love that. You're incredible at that. That's awesome. But that's why I said, like, you see your life going a certain way, and you have a big stand-up passion for stand-up that you're cultivating, and you're doing stand-up now and then, and that every MC gig is a little bit of stand-up anyway.
Yeah, it is a little bit. But okay, so shifting gears there. Obviously, your origin is music. That's, you built your foundation on it. Obviously transitioned to a lot of different things. Now you guys are in film, TV, advertising, the whole shebang. Is it a case of like music has served its purpose? What do you feel about music now?
Yeah, I think music is one of those things you can always do it until you're like 80 or 90. I mean, Wisco Bass is very prominent Afrikaans muso. He's still jamming. I think he's 72 or something. So I'll always have music. I'll always be thankful to music. But the whole music landscape changed so much. It's way more difficult to be an independent artist, even though you're lucky to have a little bit of a following because of your band that was a little successful. It's super difficult to stand out when you drop a song now, to compete with the labels. You don't have money to boost your video to get it thousands of views. So for me, I was like, okay, I've done this. It was awesome. I don't have anything new to say musically.
Yeah.
But I love comedy. There's not a lot of people that share my viewpoint, meaning I'm Afrikaans and white, but I'm super outspoken with regards to like apartheid and our history and racism. And that's rare in my industry because you get flack for that.
Yeah.
But like, so I'm like, I know I'm unique in that sense.
Yeah.
I'm proud of that. I'll never back down. And that'll be my weapon of choice. Let's use comedy to hold up a mirror, like you said earlier.
Yeah.
And to not show that I'm right, but just be like, hey, this is a different perspective.
Yeah.
And so that's why I kind of moved more into comedy, and me and Benny did like Freckle, or still doing Freckle with the ads and so on. But like my main big passion is like just to sketch comedy and to do stuff that's not necessarily controversial, just like make people think differently.
Yeah. So I mean, so last night I emceed an event at Stanton Convention Center, and we had Dr. Franz Cronier come up, and he was talking about like stats and stuff, and it's really interesting because
he is the guy from
the South African Institution of Race Relations and that sort of thing. But like, when it comes to politics, I think he keeps a thumb on the pulse quite well. And he was talking about how there's actually like a lot of positive stuff that's happening. And so, we poke fun at politicians and stuff. But I think, again, our conversation is always a case of we want to put out a positive message. Yeah, we poke fun at, things that are going wrong and that sort of thing. But I almost feel like there's a responsibility to tell the truth in a way that people can consume it. And that's the goal.
But it's a gift, dude. To be able to make comedy, to make people laugh, is a hard thing.
Yeah.
Because of comedy is such a difficult genre. One person thinks slipping on a banana peel is funny. The other guy thinks it's stupid.
Yeah.
But with drama, it's easy. Just kill the guy off, the lead character, and everyone cries.
Yeah.
With comedy, it's hard work to find the gold. But if you're lucky enough to have a funny bone and to have an interesting view, especially in a country like South Africa, where people are down in the dumps the whole time, there's a lot of stuff that's going lekker. I think it's awesome to be in a position that you can share your views and opinions and make content to make people, because that for me, like a big thing. Like a few years ago, I made these videos speaking about apartheid and apologizing for apartheid, because my viewpoint is you can't apologize for stuff you didn't do. It's the concept of whenever I am around like a black person, and I bump my knee or I felt myself on fell. People go, sorry.
Yeah.
It's that stupid small principle like that I want to apply. And also when your friend goes through a heartbreak, sorry man.
Yeah.
Or at a funeral, I'm so sorry for your loss. You didn't do anything, but the whole empathy thing.
Yeah.
So that's my viewpoint. So I made those videos and I got the worst flack in the world. So I realized like there's power in content.
Yeah.
But figure out a way to make it to use your strong point more and hone in, kind of like focus more on like your niche and your strong points, if I could almost say that. And comedy is that for me. There's a big part of me that I love being vulnerable, and I'm super keen on sharing anything that I went through.
Probably the only person who loves being vulnerable. But yeah.
Don't you like being vulnerable?
I hate being vulnerable.
Oh, really?
So that's why I chose comedy. I laugh when I'm uncomfortable.
But is comedy for you like a wall you put up? Is it that?
No, it's a processing mechanism. Like we talk about sort of comedy and tragedy being so close. Like I'll process tragedy or like hard things through comedy. Like you talk about being like a lot of my stand-up stuff is talking about how like moved from PE and then got here, and I had nothing, man. Like I failed at like the first 3 or 4 things.
But that's a form of being vulnerable.
Yeah.
Being on stage.
No, what I'm saying is I don't like that though.
Wow.
You. Oh, that.
But you just said that's your show.
Yeah.
So being vulnerable has got nothing to do with crying. Oh, I'm so sad. It has to do with like sharing a side that people don't necessarily always see.
So let me put it this way. I think that the comedy aspect of it is like I'm getting to tell you the story rather than like I'm in control of the narrative which is why I almost don't see it as being vulnerable, because I'm saying, hey guys, I used to be like, I used to be proper broke, man. So like you can't use that against me kind of thing. But
comedy is definitely it's a tool to disarm a difficult conversation or something that's like conflict or so on. Yeah. But there's definitely a part of me that I can sometimes associate, recognize in me, where I go, I'm making a gag, or I'm making a joke now, but it's just because I don't want to talk about it, or this scares me, or this is still a little bit hurtful.
Yeah. But I mean, okay, so we did quite a bit of work, or myself, in the wildlife and conservation space. And so one of the problems that we find with conservation, take UNICEF, everything, it's always that sad music. Hey, hi.
The rhino.
The rhino was killed last week, or there's starving children in Africa. And like that whole guilt trippy narrative it's tired now, man. Like people are battling, people are struggling out there.
Yeah. So the rhinos
are. It's just it's so tough. So we need to stop that guilt trippy narrative and find a way to make people actually like feel cool. Like, hey, listen, this thing's going on. It's really sucky, but you can make a difference. You know,
that's not like care. Get people to care more, but with a lighter attitude, because life is hard to start off. with.
And that's what comedy can do. We can say, hey, look at this thing that's tough to look at, but like we won't guilt trip you into it.
Are you proud of yourself where you are now? If you would speak to the 14-year-old Themba.
Yeah, dude. I think so,
like,
man.
Are you like, oh damn it, I shouldn't have done this?
Listen. So I'll say like life is an interesting thing in terms of timing. If like growing up, a lot of people always just say, "Oh man, you're gonna do something cool one day. You're gonna do something cool one day." So like I kind of had that as a belief kind of thing, but never really knew. And growing up in a small town, everyone's quite a small-minded. Like everyone from PE is either a teacher, a CA, or a quantity surveyor. Like that's the only things that like guys used to do. And so like copywriting, what is that as like a profession? How do you get paid for writing words? That sounds like crazy. So the aspirations and stuff were quite limited, sort of growing up, and so there's a lot of I want to say there's a lot of pressure when people say to you, "Yeah, you're going to be great, You're going to be great," and then you fumble around for 10 years doing absolutely nothing.
Did it feel like that?
No. Like I really worked for 10 years, but like I wasn't getting anything right. And it sucked. And then now, like I'm in my 30s and I'm like, okay, cool. Now I've got some notoriety and that sort of thing. But if any of the success that I'm experiencing now happened in my 20s, I probably would have squandered it.
Well, okay.
Because I didn't know myself.
Yeah.
Then I wasn't in touch with myself. And look, maybe it's a process of having kids and being married and getting older and that sort of thing. But I'm like, if I got any sort of fame in my 20s, oh, dude, I would have been an absolute write-off by 30. That would have been. Whereas now, like, I understand so much more about struggle and hard work and the networking, that sort of thing, reputation.
Because you paid the school fees in your 20s.
Yeah.
Did you always have a passion? For me, your vocabulary is incredible, meaning, because when we write, when I send you like whatever, first draft or something, when we have to choose the names for our characters or just the extra little things we say, you always like your English is, this is not that classical. This is why you speak English
you speak so well.
I'm talking, no, it's like next level. It's like, it feels like you've got a real passion for words.
Yeah, man. Like, okay, look here. You can always kind of run into trouble. There's nothing worse than somebody that says, like we call it verbose, if you use too many words to describe something simple. Wow. But I just love the fact that you can say things in so many different ways.
Because sorry, I saw chocolate. Because your sketches, the stuff that you shoot, like the stuff with the traffic light, the speed cam. The wordings, the names you come up with, like that's hardcore. It feels like you're like a little Oxford dictionary in your heart.
Yeah, it's just fun to play with words, and it's also fun to see how impressed people are with words. So you're like
me now,
auspicious, and be like, oh wow, wow, you know good words. But in the same vein, like you guys have pretty much built your advertising career on wordplay. Like that is
but misunderstandings, like comedy though, the definition of comedy, I don't know if that's the only definition, but it's a definition, is when tragedy meets timing. So that's not the same thing as what I want to say now, but with words, misunderstanding, sorry. So everyone loves a misunderstanding. It's the oldest theme in any movie. There's a misunderstanding. Oh, he was my brother. Oh, so this is your sister. Oh, whatever. And in South Africa, it's a melting pot of misunderstandings because of cultures and language, and
we're really blessed in that.
So it comes easy in a way, and language is it is actually a powerful tool. It's a magical tool to hit people in the heart with a misunderstanding or a mispronunciation of like a word or a phrase that's supposed to be one language, but then you butchered it, and then it's like, oh, the word is so funny if you say it in Afrikaans or whatever.
We actually watched one of your guys' old ads. It was the Braai one.
The speed cop.
Speed cop pulls the guy over and he's like, bro. And we laughed at it, all of us in the office, and it's just like.
But that's so relatable, because I think we're the only country where you can bribe a cop. Like, I don't know if in the US or so, when the traffic officer pulls you over, there's an option of like, listen, can we sort it out here? I don't think there's an option.
Let's save the planet and not do paperwork. Let's just
EFT. Little Yoko.
Little geo payment.
Thanks for the sponsor, Yoko.
But on that note, so we're almost faced with the responsibility to push positive messaging. I don't know if it's positive messaging or what it is, but I feel so proudly South African. And I know we're in a good space now. We're winning rugby. We got Driekus' kickboxing. Everything seems to be going so well. We've got some of the fastest runners in the world. Olympics was great for us.
We got Guyton McKenzie.
Guyton's in there doing like money moves. It's incredible. It's such a lacquer time to be South African. And I almost forgot my question.
I think for me, you always have a decision, dude. It is going tough in South Africa. We know. I don't walk around and I don't see the homeless guy at the corner. I see those people as well. I see townships. I see our history and the sadness. But I think it's still a choice to go. There's hope. I'm not saying everything's perfect, but I'm saying there's hope. There's hope. We can make a change. Wherever you are, you can make a difference. What we have is just I got comedy in me and sketch and a different viewpoint, and that's what I have to roll up my sleeves and make South Africa, in my tiny little sphere, a better place.
Everyone's trying to do their little bit. So the last thing we had was Mandela Day. Okay, one of the videos we shot was Mandela Day, and saying how people we've never actually ever spoken about this, but do you think there's a space where you can do good and record it and share it?
That's Mr. Beast. That's Mr. Beast's whole model. He's got the biggest YouTube channel, and he just throws away money the whole time. But
people love seeing that stuff, though. But if you're that person, then people are like, oh, look at him.
The thing is, if you do it once, then I'm like, you're doing this for the views or to get clickbait. But if it's a lifestyle, if it's like Gift of the Givers is an example. The only thing that those dudes do is help. There's no video of Gift of the Givers having a corporate breakaway at Sun City. It's every video, every photo is blankets or like food for farmers or so I think if it's in you, I think it's fine if there's a culture of I don't know, dude. That's so tricky. I don't know. It's a good question. What do you think?
No, I think, look, if I was hungry and you said, listen, I'm going to give you a sandwich, but I'm going to take a photo. I'm like, hell, take your photo, man.
Wow, I see.
I get a sandwich out of it. I'm winning. You have a photo. Cool. Get your likes, whatever. But I get a sandwich. But the reason I was asking, because I was driving in Sandton yesterday, and there's a big billboard. You know where the jet is on the roof?
Yeah.
There's a big billboard where this dude's made a sign. He's got the billboard, whatever, and he says his name, and he's given 100,000 rand to the Women's Entrepreneurship Foundation or whatever. I'm like, but that billboard costs like 40 grand to put up. I'm like, who spends 40 grand putting up a sign saying that they get? I'm like,
that is funny.
Oh man.
No, we live in it's tricky, dude, because obviously you make a difference in someone's life.
Yeah.
I think the question is why do you want to show the world that you're amazing? Why, if you want to give someone something, just give it to them.
Yeah.
But now it becomes, I just want to show people how amazing I am. Can you smile quickly?
A quick smile.
I don't know. It's tricky.
Shifting gears once again. Okay, so obviously one of the things I get a lot is people confuse me with the dude from Leon Schuster's films.
Is that true though? No, I know we made a joke about it in the one sketch, but is that true?
No, it's legit, man. Like every day. Like and like it's awkward because now also a little bit famous, so people are like, oh, please can we get a photo with you? And then like I take a photo and then they walk away and they're like, yes, we love you in all those movies. You made the 90s so great. Yeah. I'm just like, oh my gosh, they've got the wrong guy in the photo, so it's not a thing. But kind of where we poised, like, okay, we got a white Afrikaans guy, black guy, short fat black guy. It's like,
you're not fat,
dude. Thank you. Do you think we're running the risk? Oh, are we? Then, do we take the Leon Schuster and Alfred?
We take the fucker. What do you call the baton?
The flame, the baton.
Good question. I just first want to say, I get when I look like this, my hair is like this, and I've got a cap on. The majority of people think I'm Jack Barrow, and I love it because Jack is amazing. I'll be Jack Barrow any day. But I had a conversation with one of the waiters here at the restaurant, 15 minutes long, and I thought he recognized me for Bouwer, and I deep dive, and he's asking how's it going with the music. So I'm like, yes, this guy knows me, dude. And then at the end he's like, oh, thanks, Jack. Have a good day. I'm like, 15 minutes of not being myself. Anyway, so. I don't know. I mean, obviously, dude, when we met and we started speaking about making stuff together, There was never anything after that first sketch. It was never, dude, let's think of the cool opportunities what can come. It was like, I know you're funny, I'm funny.
Yeah.
I don't see us elsewhere. I don't see a white guy and a black guy making stuff together. It's how our country looks. Let's see how we can, with our differences, figure out actually that we're more the same
100%.
than we're different. Because the focus is so many times on, oh, we're so different. And it's like, no. It's the only difference. Well, it's the culture. Obviously, there's different cultures, but it's your skin and it's an organ. Your skin is an organ. It's so stupid. Like, why is it such a thing that one of your organs is a different color?
But even like you say like culturally that we're different. And okay, getting back to this conversation with Franz Krenier, and he is saying, what's happening in the States at the moment is your race relations in America are so intense, and even in the UK and like a lot of countries, even like Australia, like I think it gets quite hectic out there. But it's because everybody is so different, like culturally and from morals and beliefs and everything. People are completely different. Whereas by South African standards, we actually follow a similar blueprint. In terms of our ethics and morals and that sort of thing. And I think that therein lies the power of that better together thing. Because if we could get over that, man, I have no doubt South Africa should be the best country in the world.
Yeah, we're so indoctrinated with nonsense about the differences. It pollutes everything. You can't even think past it because everyone just told you, we're so different.
Yeah.
And then it's like, wait, what if you're in primary school or whenever you start learning about cultures and so on, where it's 90%. But remember, we're the same, guys.
Yeah.
We're also human. We get conservative black people. You get conservative white people. You get, dude, even white Afrikaans people. I know so many people that'll be like, I hate you, meaning we're so different. But because people think, all white people the same, all black people the same, and it's so stupid. So for me, it's like a big educational thing.
No, but I think, conversations. But I mean, I get the feeling, like I say, and I don't know if it's sport and everything, but like, I feel like we're in a space where things are happening, man.
But GNU, I mean, the new government, I mean, load shedding is a massive thing forever. That
let's just please talk about load shedding.
You know, there's a.
How do you have a problem for what 10?
It's like 20, dude. I was in high school when I saw like put off your geyser signs on TV.
How do you have a problem for 22 years?
All of a sudden,
and then over 1 December, they're like, nah, it's shut.
And there's too much energy now.
Yeah, no. I saw a headline the other day, and they said, Eskom making too much energy, have to shut down.
Yeah, dude, it's nuts.
How do you?
It's whack, dude. But I mean, the new government, there's definitely changes. We live in Joburg.
Yeah.
All the places that have had potholes for the last like 3 years, they've been filled up.
Yeah.
The traffic lights, there's been traffic lights that have been out forever. They've been fixed. So there's definitely, in my sense, it feels like the new government, there's a little bit of positive stuff there. Yeah. So I think that's one thing. But I think it is just going better. I don't know.
It's a mind shift thing, man. But I'm gonna take it back to content quickly. So talking about potholes. So one of my big videos in the last 2 years was a pothole video.
Dude, that was incredible.
And then like the newspaper phone, and they're like,
you're on carte blanche for that thing.
Yeah, like it was crazy. It was very, very very cool. But the newspaper phone, oh my goodness. It seems like such an archaic thing. The newspaper's phoned. They want to come and do an article. So the guy's like, no, we're going to come and do the article. And we got to find a pothole. So I'm like, no, I'll take you to where I shot the thing. Same, like, this is like a week after the video dropped. It's got like 2 million views. The oaks are there to do the article. And they want to take a photo. Road is fixed.
Yep. You fixed it.
Not a pothole to be seen anywhere. I was like,
maybe you fixed it.
What are the chances?
Maybe you fixed it. Who knows?
And actually, didn't we? Because we were going to do pothole golf.
The golf one.
So you found that Lacquer Street. And look here, we had to trek all the way to
like Benoni.
Yeah, we drove to Benoni. We checked out this road. We're like, this road is perfect. Like a week later, we're like,
we're going
to go back to, and we've got a videographer. We've got oaks have come out, and we get that, and the whole road.
But then we realized we could just put holes in post, like in After Effects. We could have used any road in freaking Linden. It's terrible.
Yeah.
But with regards to content creation, are you someone that's super confident in everything you do, or do you also go through an insecure spell?
Always insecure, man. Like, it's the kind of thing is like you do a great video, and then Like you make a video, it gets 2 million views. Then you make another video and it gets like 6,000. And
I suck. I'm a failure.
I don't trust the algorithm, to be honest with you. That thing is nonsense. People keep telling me, "Oh, you got to figure out how the algorithm works." It doesn't. It's the same as like COVID. They said COVID was like attacking if you're overweight and old, and then like a thin 20-year-old died. I'm like, what are the rules here? Yeah. Like, what is this?
A thin 20-year-old. That's so funny.
No disrespect.
No disrespect to the thin 20-year-olds. Thank you for the sponsorship.
Yeah. But yeah, there's no rules to this thing, man. But you can't let your self-worth be attached to that sort of
No,
thing.
that is true. That is very important, dude. I mean, because it's human.
Yeah.
Because life has changed so much. You've got your phone. You live here the whole time.
Yeah.
So it's impossible almost not to care because you took the time to write it. You took the time to shoot it. So it's impossible not to be like, it hurts a little bit when no one likes it almost.
Have you got? So I've got a couple of videos that are like I've just never posted. Like I've shot them, I wrote it, shot it. It's in my photo album there on my phone. Have you got anything?
I've got one that I archived, that I deleted, but it has to do with the topic.
And you posted it and then
I posted it. Was up for like 3 days. It did well. Listen how we're talking. It did well. It's got that views. No, it did well for the topic. It was very controversial. But then the comments, it had to do with the topic of like pronouns and like that conversation of like not transitioning necessarily, but just gay, straight. And I'm an ally in that sense.
Yeah.
I love talking about stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the comments began to be like super mean and super like homophobic, and then it's like it defeats the purpose of like why you want to make this in the first place. But the question that I had to ask myself is like, if I take it down, do they win? Do the homophobes win then, or do I take it down and not let gay and straight people be hurt by these comments? So I just took it down because I can do the same thing again by tweaking it a little bit and making it stronger. And I think that's the plan. I just write it again. I think we spoke about that one. To make it to make the concept a little bit bigger, but I've never. There's no stuff that's lying there. I'm too scared to post.
Yeah. Well, no, I've got loads, man.
Is it not posted because you're scared of it, or is it average, or just you don't think it's good enough?
No, like I think I also get tired of my own ideas sometimes. Like I think of something, I'm like, that's a great idea, and then I leave it for too long, and then I'm like, it's a shit.
But it's never in your hands. It's with music. It's never in your hands if it goes well or not.
Yeah. No, it's very true. It's very true. So one of the things that I'm struggling with at the moment is like, so obviously built a bit of a name on that David Attenborough character kind of thing.
Wow.
And we grew up. There's so many artists like that. Tones and I Girl, that song that dance for me.
Yes.
Gotcha with that somebody that I used to know. Yeah. We've heard all these stories about like these oaks that like had one hit wonder and then like it ruined their lives kind of thing. Like that Tones and I Girl. I watched a documentary on her and she's like, she'd just go to shows and people just wanted her to play that one song over and over again. And she's like, she couldn't put it at the beginning of her set, and then like
people leave.
Yeah, or like she puts it at the end of the set and like Oaks aren't engaged and stuff, and I'm like, I keep getting that, and I was like, do the David Attenborough thing, and I'm like, I don't know, man. Like I'm starting to get to that point. I'm like, so maybe we'll have to recreate or create a new character.
I do it from my side. Obviously, we're good friends, and we're also honest with each other a lot of times. I mean, I've called you out a lot. Not called you out, but I've held you accountable a lot of times. It's like, why did you say yes to this? You said you're not going to do this anymore. So there's a healthy form of that, and you've also tuned me a few times. But like it works, dude.
Yeah.
Like I don't think you're ruining your career with that, but I think it'll come naturally when you're like, okay, I think I'll walk away now.
Yeah.
Or find a new character if you want.
Yeah.
Or, because I think the other stuff you do is anyway so incredible, dude.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's diluting it at the moment.
Yeah.
But it's awesome, dude.
I feel like you give me lots of compliments, and like I didn't give you like lots of compliments back. But I'm just gonna say, like, I was the one that initiated the email because I was like, I love your work, and I'd love to work with you one day. And it's really weird to think that we're here, episode 1 of a podcast, and it started off with just like, let's have a conversation, a little coffee, and I think it's a testament to saying, just get going, man, get started. Whatever it is that you want to do, just take the first few steps.
I mean, every time before we shoot something, I go through okay, is it cool? Is people gonna like it? And the point is to be like an athlete. Like athletes run every day.
Yeah.
Not every day is a race. No, there's not a Comrades every day or Olympics every day. But at least they run every day to get the muscles going.
Yeah.
And I think with content creation, comedy in our world, like at least, it's just create.
Yeah.
It's not in our. We would have never known that people would like the stuff we do so much.
Yeah.
And we still don't care. We would have done it even if 5 people like it, because it really brings us joy.
Yeah.
But I'm super excited for the podcast going forward. Thanks for being keen on this. This was like, it took a month to get you from the first conversation.
This is what a month's worth of work looks like.
And then also, right before we did this, we had nothing. We just like pulled a few things together. Like, okay, this is the look and feel.
This isn't even our guitar.
This is the look and feel. But I'm excited to be vulnerable with this podcast going forward, to have fun, to go deep, to go flock. What is flock? Like surface, to stay on the surface? Sorry.
You want to go deep and stay on the surface?
No, I'm saying the podcast is going to have a range.
Okay.
It's going to be silly at times, but it's going to be deep at times.
Yeah.
And to just keep on doing what we're doing.
Well, like we say, the podcast is called How's Life? And that's exactly what we want to get to the nitty-gritties of how people are living. What's the truth about how South Africans are feeling? And like we say, some days it'll just be the two of us. Some days we'll have a guest or two. Yeah. Try and pull in some famous people. Like, go through the phone book. Hi, please, will you be on my podcast?
We need you. But thanks for checking out this first episode. Go subscribe to our podcast and be sure to look out for the next episode. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, subscribe, hit the bell button. That's only for YouTube, eh? Okay, bye.